Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Regina. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. First of all, I'm doing terrible with keeping the mascara off of my face from blending in and stuff, and I've been doing life having smeared on bacteria. There's still mascara on, so I need to get I don't know, something else. This journey to yeah, I got it. It was a lot right here, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to you guys. So my hair has been cut today's Tuesday, and I cut my hair on Friday, but then I went to the barber on Thursday. And so, I'm watching my son eat. But today, just now, and I wanted to vlog this and just share this vulnerably, I just kind of had this and I just felt like sharing that, how I haven't watered my plants, y'all. This is how you know something is important. When there are tons of distractions. He hasn't eaten today, and I've tried to feed him twice, and he just didn't want to eat when I was feeding him. So, yeah. So, I have been self-reflecting on this haircut situation, and I've just been reflecting on myself from January to now. And my goodness, the way he's eating his food is just interesting. But he eats oatmeal all the time, so. Being on this journey of becoming more of myself and allowing the Holy Spirit to take over my life and surrendering to Him has just been drastic. My friend had I met her in a mentorship program that I did earlier this year, and she, just we clung to each other, we just liked each other's, no thank you, personalities and stuff, and we just connected. And she was like, wow, seeing where you were in January to now is completely amazing, and God has done so much and things like that. And I've been sharing this on my channel, and I've also been sharing it on Instagram, and it's just been amazing. But I feel like things have been happening rapidly. So me cutting my hair kind of honestly has represented so much to me over these past few days than I actually realized. And so when I was getting dressed, and I was putting my lotion on, looking at myself in the mirror and stuff like that, I just had this supernatural peace come over me. And it just really makes me emotional. And I just have had these thoughts of I honestly don't care, what people think of my haircut. I just don't care. And I know you know, who I am in the Lord, and I'm so comfortable with her. This time last year, I wasn't. This time last year, there was be no way that I would have cut my dreads. This time last year, I just wasn't in that sure space of who I was as a woman. And I was 30 years old, and my son was not even 2 yet, and been married by that time 6 years. And so, you know, like, and so it's just kind of interesting to, you know, look back, but to look at, you know, the past few days. The past few days have just been honestly wonderful and hard all at the same time, because while I'm making these changes in the physical slash, I feel like in the supernatural is, like, I just keep thinking, you know, like I was like, I wanna dress up now. I wanna put makeup on my face now. I want to look nice now. And I didn't used to care about what I looked like, you know. And my barber, he was so nice, and I'm excited to go sit back in his chair. And I really pray that God elevates him even more so than where he's at, because he has a very humble spirit generally about him. And his heart just seemed so pure and kind. And he took his time cutting my hair. He was like, oh, your husband is just not gonna leave you alone. Like, this haircut is, you know, it's gonna look so good on you. And he was genuine about it. And for the first time, I felt like I could actually receive that. And like, I felt like I could actually like believe what this man was saying. And he's a complete stranger. And so he's you know, this gentleman, I had never met him before. And he was like, oh, you know, like, I cut women's hair all the time, da 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 da. And so, like, I, I just feel like I have like way more love for myself than I ever have before. Like, what God has done, it's just been so amazing. And I'm keeping it because I know, you know, like, I know um how easy it is to go back, how easy it is to just do life so comfortably, how easy it is to live life for survival. And I've just seen how, like, I respond to things so differently. And y'all, like, at the beginning of this, you know, season with the Lord, like, I had a picture that I was saying was just that I love myself more and I appreciate myself more. And like, you know, I don't care what other people think anymore. And I used to be bound by caring so much. I used to be bound so much by caring what others thought of me. And I think that it didn't allow me to be myself, of course. And so now it's like, you know, it being the 8th month of the year, cutting my hair, and I have wanted to look really nice, have my earrings, have my nails painted, and, you know, have the mascara and the lipstick. And before that, like, I just didn't want that, and I didn't care. And so now I just feel like I do care now. I care about what I look like. I care about, you know, myself and maintaining, you know, my health, because I have been in the gym physically, I think since the end of May or something like that. I don't remember. And then I've been like slowly trying to implement better eating habits, and like the Lord has been convicting me about the things that I eat and how much I eat. And so I've been asking him, I remember asking him, Lord, can you help me in my eating habits to eat less food? Because I honestly eat pretty clean. I would say 70% of my meals are clean. But like I'll have bread, and which isn't clean, and rice, which I don't think is like considered clean technically, but like been a, like, it just hit me this morning as I was getting dressed. I was like, you know what? I do want to wear this jumpsuit. I do want to wear this jumpsuit. I do want to put on earrings. I do want to put on lipstick. And I don't know, it just felt rejuvenating. So this is like my, you know, how I feel now that I have no locks on my head, or any hair, much hair for that matter. I feel amazing, and I feel a lot free, and it's just been amazing. And I wanted to share, and God is so good. And to defend myself or be offended. And I was watching a few of my reels from a few months ago, and one of the reels that I caught was me saying that one of my friends had told me that you're going from defense to offense. And that has walked with me throughout this time as well, to walk with the Lord and no longer become defensive, to not be offended by what people say or what they may not agree with me on, how they may see different things. Zane. That just walking through all of that has just been amazing. There were some things happening over the weekend that I had to realize that I had to process with the Lord and take my time. And one of the things that I've noticed is that, like, in life, I can slow down. I can slow down and respond to a text in 5 days if I need to. Or I can not answer a phone call if I need to. I can give myself a bath when I need to. I can go for a walk when I need to. And I had, I believe, like 1 million limiting beliefs about myself, about motherhood, about more than anything, myself. And cutting my hair off kind of represents a greater found freedom in the Lord. he just fell. He just fell over some weights, but he's back up. So it's just so interesting. Like, I think that I used to have like a religious spirit, and I was bound by that religious spirit. And I was taught to have that religious spirit because of the way that I grew in my faith. And I feel like there was always something to judge people by. And now I just feel like it's just enough. Like, I feel like I don't have judgment for people, because of the decisions that they make or because of where they are in their walk. I just don't have that judgment anymore. And I had it for so long. And it was like we were married, and God broke that off of me because I know where I am with him, and I know how much I don't know. I don't know anything. I shared in our Bible study last night how I was talking to a senior in my at my church, and I was like, I used to be a substitute teacher. I was like, I used to be a substitute teacher, and I taught, and I got to meet all grade levels, and I got to pay attention and watch them. As a senior, you're just ready to graduate, and you feel like you just don't need anybody. Like, the last thing you're worried about is the teachers and all these things. You just ready to graduate. But when you are in 5th grade, I felt like back then they feel like they know everything. Oh, I'm in 5th grade. I'm about to be in 6th grade. I'm about to go to the big school, and I'm the oldest in the school. I know all the things, right? When you get in middle school, I feel like that's when you kind of more so like relaxed and confused, like you don't really know what's going on. Stop. And so I said, it's so funny because once I got out of high school, I went into college, got into college, found Jesus. And then after I found Jesus, I would still feel like I was so confused, didn't know what was going on. And then after that, after I graduated, I was still confused because I didn't pick a definite degree, like job title. And of course, I wish that I would have back then, and just been patient with myself to get through college. But I had so many things that I was thinking about. I was thinking about debt. I was thinking about wanting to finish on time in the year span, and not feel like I'm flunking, which was a, thing for grade school. I had so many thoughts and reservations back then as to why. Because I would have graduated with a social work degree if I would have just taken my time. Anyway, and then I found jobs, moved out of, my mom's place, and I still didn't know what I was doing. And so here I am, 31 with a toddler. I don't know what I'm doing. And so we literally are out here walking by faith, doing what God tells us to do, and figuring it out. And so it's funny, right? Like, it's so funny. And us being on the 7th year of marriage, it's like, I'm glad that we grinded and made it through them past 7 years because they were beautiful, but we learned a lot. And we grew a lot and all these different things. And so I don't know. So it's just like now with, and I also have felt like I am in a midlife crisis as well. Like if you look at it through the world's eyes, like she's going through a midlife crisis. And it's like, through the world's eyes, for sure. For sure, I would have to agree with that. But I know that I'm done with settling. And I've settled my entire life, or I've rushed my entire life to get to the next thing. And now I'm like coasting. Like trying to, yeah, it is Gray. Good job. Gray. Yay, good job. And trying to just slow down, because what am I rushing for? When the Lord is ready to come get me, he gonna get me, and ain't nobody gonna be able to stop that. But I am going to be submitted to him in my word, journaling, teaching my son the best that I can, being the best wife that I can, and everything else is so secondary. And so it's like, because what I do with my family lasts for generations versus me making sure tons of money is coming into the house, making sure we got a house full of stuff, and making sure that everybody that I know is happy, you know? And it's like, people really ain't thinking about you like that. And so it's like, you know, like just realizing the truth and no longer believing and living in limiting beliefs, believing lies, and communication also too. Like, I'm so grateful for Sam, because we both have worked so hard this year. When I say we have worked so hard this year, we have worked so hard this year. We have, you know, just come together and figured out what is important to us as a couple. You know, what do we want out of our relationship and for our children and for the generations to come. And so it's like, you know, I think it's easy to take everything in. Watch whatever we want to watch on TV, listen to whatever music we want to listen to, be around whatever people we want to be around. And it's like that stuff becomes your actions. I was watching a show, and Faithfully, and I decided to stop watching that show because it reminded me of my old self. I mean, if I was to be honest, it just reminded me of my old self. Broken relationships over and over and over again. People not happy with their life. Making money. They were making money. They were well established. They looked good on the outside, but there was nothing there on the inside. And so I just was like, a lot of this dysfunction is what I have been used to seeing and living out, and I don't want to watch this or, you know, see this show anymore because of that. And being able to identify open doors, because man, do you have to tear stuff up? When I went to Kairos, God showed me that show was an open door. And I was like, you know, and I honestly kind of had this thought in my mind, like, I'm sad that this is an open door for me. I was enjoying watching this show. And, but he had been talking to me about watching the show before. And I'm like, there's people aren't killing each other. People aren't, you know, having all kinds of sex and stuff. People aren't doing XYZ. I mean, they were having sex, but it wasn't like some of these really like shows to where it's so excessive. And it wasn't like that. But the brokenness of relationships was an open door, because I had to realize, like, you know, to be honest, like, being in relationships with people has just been being in relationships with people have just been a challenging thing for me. And then I had to humble myself with the Lord, because he humbled me. And I had to realize, like, why are your relationships so broken? And which I shared about in a previous video. And so just the growing in communication, growing in understanding people, talking to people about things, slowing down. Like, I don't have to rush, to do stuff. And I felt like I used to be so rushed. Oh, let me respond. Because back in the day, I had a friend that was like, you read my text, but you never responded to me. And it was just like, now, of course, now that I'm older, and this happened, I think, when we were 19. And so I quickly turned off my read receipts. And I wasn't, I guess, I don't know what I told her. But I would have loved to have the security of being like, yeah, I read your text. Yeah, I didn't respond. It's okay. And versus, I don't even know how I responded. But I feel like I always took that in and felt like I had to respond to people quickly and so I just wanted to share what God is teaching me as I have cut my hair, and it's literally like the 4th day. But God is always talking when you're listening and your ears are turned to Him. He always talking, and also through His Word, He's always talking. So, it's just been amazing, and I just don't take this season for granted. And I just wanted to share what it's been like having short hair, what God is saying. Thank you for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe and comment below your thoughts, what you think, what did this make you think of as I shared these different things. See y'all soon.